There's a lot of things that we can go through today, since yes, competitive Dead by Daylight is a big new thing for a lot of people. So let's go through how the games will be played and kind of the structure that you can expect from today. The teams have a map pool that the map will randomly be selected from. Due to the fact that there is currently a heal bug in Dead by Daylight, hopefully none of you have experienced that personally, but I'm hoping most of you know what that is. We have determined that it is best for this week of the tournament to remove all of the maps affected by the heal bug. So that is going to be all of the Macmillan maps, all of the Order Haven maps, and all of the Crotus Pen maps. And so that will leave 9 maps that can be randomly selected for week 1, including Shelter Woods, which is a Macmillan map, but Shelter Woods doesn't spawn hills, so we don't have to worry about that. Using a random number generator, we will select that map. The teams will be informed of the map selection, and from then the teams will have to select a killer to play on that map. They have full choice of which killer they pick. All 20 killers in Dead by Daylight are available for pick. And in the round of 16, there are no limitations on which killer can be picked. There are going to be slight changes when we get into the double elimination, but we'll talk about that next week when we get there. Once they pick their killer, a coin toss will be had to determine which team will start on killer, which team will start on survivor, and then we'll get into it. These teams are going to play 2 games, one with their killer and one with their survivor. And at the end of these 2 games, we'll have a final score, which will determine who the winner is in this match. As far as scoring is concerned, it's about as simple as we could make it for this tournament. For the survivors, if they complete a generator, they will score 2 points. And if they escape via either the exit gate or hatch, they will also score 2 points, making it a total of 10 points available for generators, and then another 8 points available for escaping. So a total of 18 points can be scored on your survivor round. For the killer, we are doing things like this. Each individual hook will count as a point. Just to clarify, that is the actual action of hooking, not the survivor going into a second hook state. It has to be the hook. When this survivor dies on the hook, or they will also get a point. So there's a total of 4 points available per survivor. That's for 3 hooks and 1 for the survivor dying, for 16 points total. And some clarifications there. For Pyramid Head, if they're caged, that counts as a hook. And if they use Final Judgment, that also counts as a hook as well. So a bit of an incentive maybe to pick Pyramid Head over the other killers. As far as perks are concerned, if they use Rancor on the Obsession at the end of the trial, that will just count for killing the survivor. We won't count any hook stage there. But there is a bit of a twist here, as we've implemented a rule for Devour Hope. If the killer was to bring Devour Hope and use that to kill a survivor at 5 stacks, then we will reward them the total 4 points, as if they were hooked 3 times and killed as well. So maybe in this tournament, we will see a little bit of Devour Hope play coming through. That could be pretty exciting. If the survivor dies to the endgame collapse, that will also just count as a kill as well. It won't count as any hook states. So that gives the survivor a chance to potentially deny the killer some points once a hatch has been closed, for example. So that's how the scoring is going to work. And we'll be getting into our first match very shortly between Kanapek and Eternal. So I'm just waiting to get an invite into this lobby. In fact, I think I can join on in myself. Let's meet the 2 teams here, Kanapek versus Eternal. Both of these teams are probably new to the most of players who have been around in the Dead by Daylight scene for some time. Eternal is a relatively new team that has actually been formed for this tournament alone. It consists of team captain Rational, Shix, Hawko, Soda, and Kaz. Shix going to be playing the killer for the team. Another important note, I suppose, in the best of the best tournament, you can only have 1 player play killer throughout the entire tournament. We wanted this to really highlight the best of the best. And so when it comes to killer, we wanted the teams to have 1 person who can play killer throughout the entire tournament so that they can consider themselves the best killer in Dead by Daylight. This team doesn't have much tournament experience. They recently played in the Battle of the Platforms tournament earlier on in this month, where they were unfortunately knocked out by one of the other teams playing in this tournament, Team Oracle. They're a really strong team. They've been coached by Oracle, actually, for a lot of this. So I can't wait to see what they bring to the roster here. Kanapek, on the other hand, is another European competitive team that has been around for the last 2 years. All 4 of their teammates combined have over 22,000 hours, which is quite a mammoth task, I believe. And they've won 3 major tournaments, including Tide Time's Destiny Dead by Daylight tournament back in 2018 and 2 space sports esports tournaments in 2019 as well. So they're looking to prove that they are a top force here coming into this. I have got confirmation that we're ready to get into game 1. So as soon as the teams are ready, we will be doing so. And also the map has been selected as well. We are going to Rotten Fields for our first game. And it seems that Kanapek have selected Nurse as their killer as well. So this is going to be a pretty exciting matchup for this game. I can't wait to see exactly what they bring to this game. As far as survivors are concerned, you may be wondering, what perks can they bring in this game? Well, Objective Obsession has been banned throughout the tournament. You cannot bring Objective Obsession. It's the only perk banned in the tournament. Killers can bring whatever they want. Survivors can bring everything up until Objective Obsession. And for the survivors, they can only pick the same perk twice across their teams. So that means that the survivors can only have 2 decisive strikes across their team. They can only have 2 unbreakables across their team, 2 sprint bursts as well. So that means that they have to dish the perks out, separate them across the board, and make sure that they are not bringing more than 2 instances of the same perk. We've also implemented a rule that forces the survivors to play on separate individual survivors. This is more to help you guys know who everyone is, as well as allow the killer to identify quickly who they are chasing. And so that means that you won't see the same survivor twice in the game. And as far as items are concerned, the survivors can bring any yellow item or below. So that means they can bring a yellow medkit, a yellow flashlight, a yellow toolbox. And as far as add-ons are concerned, they also can bring yellow and below. They're also allowed to bring a firecracker because there's not really another yellow item that you would want to bring. You know, you could bring a key, I suppose. Oh, no, you can't because it's green. So scratch that, not possible. So the firecracker is the 4th item that they can bring. We are loaded into the Rotten Fields, ready to get underway with DB's Nurse here. And we're going to be seeing exactly what he's brung to the table as well. Corrupt Intervention, Pop Goes the Weasel, Hex, Ruin, and Shatterborn, the perks choice. And as far as add-ons, he has a double recharge as well. Now, the survivors are going to notice that Corrupt Intervention is here, and as you can see, they are currently trying their best to hide through the first 2 minutes of the Corrupt Intervention as much as possible. This will allow them to attack any generator that they want after the 2 minutes has expired. And so really, emphasis is on DB now, on a corn map of all things, Rotten Fields, to try and make sure that he can find the survivors here. Pretty tricky one for sure. So let's see how he can do this real quick. There's no way to prevent crows from spawning other than by moving around. There used to be a bug, I suppose you could call it, in the game where you could emote spam, and that would prevent the crows from spawning on you, but that has been patched out since. And so now the survivors have to be constantly moving throughout the 2 minutes, making sure repositioning to prevent themselves. Already, 1 minute and 15 seconds has surpassed, and so the Eternal are doing an excellent job at the moment, preventing DB a chance to find them, and this is really frustrating because Corrupt Intervention is all about generating that pressure early in the game so that you can have 3 generators blocked. You can contest 4 generators for that first 2 minutes, but if you can't find the survivors during that first 2 minutes, then this perk has effectively been wasted. The spot will be removed throughout the rest of the game, then the survivors will have full agency over this trial. And so for your first game in the best of best tournament, the sweat has started to build up for DB as he only has 10 seconds left of Corrupt Intervention. It seems that survivors have successfully waited out the Corrupt Intervention here on the Rotten Field. The struggling start for him. Rational here does have a crow, but they've done the job. Let's talk about the survivor builds real quick, shall we? Rational bringing Camaraderie, an interesting choice here. A unique teachable perk from Steve, which will make it so that once he is on a hook, a survivor can activate Camaraderie for the next 34 seconds. He'll have his hook stage essentially frozen, which will allow the survivors to allow him to sit on the hook for longer. If he has found a survivor, it is going to be Rational. It looks like that he's going to be chasing here for the first chase. Already a bit of gem progress there, and the second survivor was with him as well. Let's see how DB deals with chasing multiple survivors through the corn. Very difficult task on Rotten Fields for sure. got the scratch mask to identify where the survivor is. It looks like they went all the way back towards wall. No, there they are. Rational is there. First swing, and it's a whiff for DB, as Rational is going to be gaining some distance here through the maze tiles here. He's got a T-L to work with. Not the easiest tile to deal with versus the nurse. So far, putting distance between DB and himself. DB going to get those blinks back, blinks forward, and there it is. The tournament comes through, and DB will find Rational. Now looking to try and finish the job as quickly as possible. Playing around the corner here. Oh, it's a dead hard to get the Rational away. Excellent stuff coming through from Rational. We'll switch over here and see exactly what he's looking at through this tournament. Playing the safe wall of this jungle gym here. Trying his best to gain distance, but it doesn't look like he's got it. No, he does! Distance gained once more. DB struggling to catch the team captain of Eternal. Eternal looking to allow their team captain to chase and loop them to victory in this first game of this series. A second generator has just popped in the background. So far, Eternal have built up 4 points in total, but there it is. The down comes through, and that is going to be DB getting his first hook. As that happens, Totem Cleanse Ruin is going to be removed from the trial as well. So rough start here for Team Kanapek's killer. As that is going to be the Ruin Totem gone. He does have Pop Goes the Weasel as a backup. Rational does come off the hook, and we'll have Decisive Strike for the next 60 seconds to deal with any tunneling that may come through. You will see killers tunnel quite a lot in this tournament, especially in instances where you have very little control. You can see that DB has made his way over to the generator. Pop Goes the Weasel is the initial throw from the clown, which will regress the generator for 25% of its progress. Seconds after you hook a survivor, so DB will provide 25% regression there. And 25%, for those who don't know, equates to about 20 seconds of gen progress. So Hawko has just lost 20 seconds to this generator here, but he's going to be on it. Kaz also working a generator here. You can see Soda just hanging out, being safe. DB doing his best to locate a new survivor. Blinking back towards this maze guard, where we last saw for Rational, and look at that chase start onto Rational once more. Rational going to be looking to do his best. Decisive Strike expiring as we speak as well. So a bit of a troublesome time here for Rational, as he may just get tunneled straight out of this. DB going to be looking to try and finish the job a little bit quicker than the last time. Can he make this chase swifter? As Rational in the corner, do you put Rational in the corner is the question. Can he play the Z-Wall? Come here, he says dead hard. He says Rational looping DB through all of these little tiles, the walls and everything, really making very little work in his favor. But the flash will come through, and DB will be able to end this chase here. Finally on to Rational. He's worried though. Is there a survivor lurking for a pickup? No, it seems they're all working generators. 3 generators. There's one. Can we get a second coming through? Yes, we can. Can we get a third? Kaz is working hard on this Eternal. Looking to have 8 points on the board. And just second, Pop Goes the Weasel. DB's trying to get it done. Oh, he gets the hit. The generator's gone. Kaz now running through his life. Will go down here. It looks like Eternal were very happy to sacrifice Kaz for a potential fifth generator. Rational going to be on the hook, and DB is going to take points for hooking here. Currently 2 points on the board for DB. Needs a little bit more if possible. The unhook comes through onto Rational. Remember, he does have Decisive Strike in his back pocket. Swing and hit onto Soda here. Kaz with Deliverance going to get himself off the hook, and now all the survivors are scrambling. Oh, it's the fire tracker. It doesn't quite get the job done. Soda will go down, and that's going to be a 4th point coming through for Team Kanapek's DB here. At this point, really, you're just doing your best to try and put as many points on the board for the killer. If he can find Rational and put him into his death hook, that would be excellent. We'd love that for DB, but you can see that the survivors here all at the exit gate, and I think they're going to be very happy to just take a 3-man out in this scenario. Yep, that's going to be Soda leaving as well. Rational doing a bit of tap here. Dead hard to the exit. Now, Soda has the opportunity to wiggle off the hook, a 4% chance. Probably going to be a little bit difficult though. There's the hatch closed, so he's going to have to wiggle off this hook and then run all the way across the map to the open exit gate. We'll see if Soda does attempt here and if he gets lucky. Can't imagine that it would be possible though. Currently on the board, it will be 16 points to Eternal for the 3-man escape. Team Kanapek with 5 points, and if Soda does die in this talk, they'll put him up to 6 points for the first game of this first trial here. Soda very happy. Doesn't seem like he wants to take the escape attempt. He is allowed to attempt to wiggle off the hook here if he wants to. But no chance to be had here. It's going to be Soda accepting his face. That's going to be Team Kanapek with 6 points on the board as Soda loses his life. 1K coming through for DB on the killer roll as he links off into the corn to think about how this first match went. And if you're Team Kanapek, not the way you wanted to start this game off, not the way you wanted to start the tournament off either. I mean, Rotten Fields, it's a very difficult map, extremely difficult map to play here. It's not the one that I would be hoping for out of the first game that you could get, but there you have it. Scores on the board, 16 to Eternal. We'll get that updated to 6 for Team Kanapek on the scoreboard in just a second as well. And that's game 1 coming through. Round is completed. So for those who are wondering how those points are made up, we have this lovely graphic to showcase just that. 10 points for generators, 6 points for escaping to Team Eternal, putting them at 16 points total. And for Team Kanapek, it will be 4 hooks with a kill. Okay, we already had that updated. That's my bad. A little bit behind on the instance there. So 4 hooks, individual hooks, and then the kill onto Soda awards them their 5th point. So for Team Kanapek, they're going to have to be considering how they come back into this, how they can close this game out as a survivor. They're going to need to get a 4-man escape. That's going to put a really good attempt at it, but then, you know, potentially they need less hooks than their opponents here if they want to be able to secure the win here in the first game of this round of 16. It's a troublesome task for sure. We'll be getting into that one very shortly, I'm sure. Getting into game 2 here, guys. The players are connecting to each other. We're loading on into the lobby. Team Kanapek, pressure on their shoulders. They are very close from being potentially eliminated from the best of the best tournament, with Eternal progressing to day 2 of this tournament. But they're not out of the count yet. XxShinobazuxX going to be bringing Spirit to the Rotten Fields here to attempt to seal the deal for his team, and we'll see if his Spirit is up to the trick. Bit of a spectator cam delay. Problem when it comes to Spirit, for those who are wondering. Not the cleanest of killers in the spectator, but unfortunately that is out of our control. We'll do our best to deal with that here. So here we get into it. XxShinobazuxX has come through, and it actually is going to be a green activation charge add-on. The bloody hair brooch with the sports day cap. And look at that, he's found a survivor immediately. It is going to be the Nia in chase, so we'll try and get onto her real quick. It is Condio, the team captain for Team Kanapek, who gets the pallet stun and now has to determine whether or not this is a fake phase walk, and it wasn't. You can see XxShinobazuxX comes out of it. He's going to be able to get himself off the hill and over towards this pallet. Looks like XxShinobazuxX has decided to switch on to the rest of the survivors. It's a bit of a scramble here from Team Kanapek. Everyone is running around for their lives. It is going to be a fake out on the pallet, but not enough for Trapper Main, as XxShinobazuxX going to find the hit onto him. And he has his power coming up in very short time as well. Look at that fast activation. Going to try and charge down and locate him in the phase walk. Listening. Right above him. The corn's moving. Swings, but it's a whiff through the corn. There's going to be Trapper Main getting a couple of extra meters in this chase here. Rest of the survivors on generators. As you can see, Trapper Main playing the back of the T-War L-War. Potentially have lost XxShinobazuxX as well. And it's probably a good thing. Look at his perks. He's got Deliverance. Definitely doesn't want to be the first survivor going down. So XxShinobazuxX does seem to have lost. The Trapper Main is going to be going on to his brethren, the Legion Main, who takes the hit early in this chase. XxShinobazuxX going to be looking for the phase walk on to the Claudette here. You can see the perks in the bottom right corner. He's actually switched targets, but Sprint Burst will get DB out of this scenario nice and safely. Pallet has been thrown in the shack as Legion Main doesn't want to risk anything. But look at the difference in pacing already on this Spirit for XxShinobazuxX. The Corrupt Intervention is about to expire, but he's already got so much hits out and really threatened the team, and his Ruin is now doing work. Sloppy Butcher forcing these survivors to spend longer healing now in a chase with DB. There should be a pallet in this loop, and there is. We'll switch off onto DB's point of view so we can get rid of the Drunken Sailor camera. The Harvester loop, a pretty tricky one to play, but he just goes straight for it. That's going to be DB falling down. As a T-War L ahead of him, he has the pallet as well, but it looks like XxShinobazuxX not ready to take that chase if he can't get the hit early. First generator has been completed for Kanapek here, and he's located near in the shack. It's going to be Conzio in a chase now as he heads towards the Harvester loop as well. Not an easy one to play at all. Does have a L-Wall jungle gym here, but his teammates are in there and he doesn't want to stop them from doing the generator. He's also located a Hex Totem as well. There's going to be the ruin. A dead hard for distance. Hexy would be, if he was here, he'd be screaming. You don't use it like that. That's not how you use dead hard. That is going to be the first down coming through onto Konzio. Looks like a lot of gem pressure has gone out. DB almost done with this generator here. You can see Trapper main and Legion main also on this generator as well. It looks like they're going to leave Legion main on the generator to get some progress. Shix doesn't seem to be coming here. No, Shix has gone over towards DB's generator, I think, on the other side of the map, in fact. So DB now going to be taking a hit here and moving away. Oh, and maybe not taking a hit. Maybe that's just from previous chase, actually. Now I think about it. You can see up a live scoreboard updating. It's going to be another set of points, putting Team Kanapek up to 9 and a down onto Konzio as well off the hook, but he does have Decisive Strike. So he should be able to get out of this as long as he doesn't miss the skill check. Nerves going to get him. Konzio is back in action. Going to be looking to try and put some distance between him and Shix. Power should be coming up in just a second. There it is. Shix going to be looking to phase walk down onto this near. Has the window playing it. Can he get the accurate prediction? Yes, he can. That was a little revolt over the window, I believe. And that's Hex Ruin gone as well. Zondio sneakily, without even Iron Will, getting some distance here on Shix's Spirit, and Kanapek seem to be mounting a comeback onto the killer here. They've got another generator done. Shix is trying to locate an injured DB. Is going to find him here, but the pallet is up and ready to go. Can DB play this one successfully? We'll see. Yep, pallet does go down. And DB now ready to try and put some distance. Has Iron Will, which will help with producing a bit of distance. Shix now phase walking, going to try and locate the silent survivor in the corn. Oh, he sees him. Can he make the window in time? Is it going to be a hit for the window? It is. That is going to be DB going down on the floor here. Does have Unbreakable to try and pick himself up, but Shix isn't going to play around. That's going to be a pickup coming through. 11-17 on the scoreboard. Make that a little bit more there as Eternal get an extra point for the hook. 11-18. A lot of hook states have come through already for this trial, which is not looking good for Team Kanapek. But remember, if they can get the 4-man out, then they'll put themselves in an excellent position, because that's going to give them an extra 2 points over what Team Eternal were able to produce in their Survivor game here. Second generator being worked on. DB sitting on the hook. We do see Trapper main now engaged in a chase. Shix going to be looking to try and break up this generator. Hex Room did get cleansed earlier, remember. So, oh, this is it's a mind game. He's standing still. Can he locate the survivor? Yes, he can. On the other side of the wall. Good patience from Trapper main, but not enough to get away. A second phase walk coming up. The quick activation. You can see the grass moving ahead of him. Can he make the window vault? It was gone right. I hear in my headphones, but Shix didn't. I think the distance here is not enough to make it to the jungle gym. And that's going to be Shix. Most likely. Oh, no, dead hard for distance. That's how you use it. That's how you use it. If you're going to use dead hard, use it to make a pallet. Trap main extending this chase out just a little bit longer. That's the phase walk coming through now from Shix. Onto the harvester. Can he get onto the window in time? He goes to the second window. The hit comes through. Shix is able to find it. That's going to be another hook coming through for Team Eternal. But the double generators have pumped. And now it all comes down to this. What is our scoreboard looking like? 15-18. This seems plausible that Team Kanapek have mounted a potential comeback onto Eternal here. They will get 6 points for escaping, which will put them up to 21 points. Eternal currently sitting on 19 points with this hook state on to Trapper main, meaning that if he dies on the hook, he'll go to 20. Surely, if they're counting the points correctly, all Kanapek have to do is leave the trial, get their 6 points total for escaping, and they would have mounted a comeback unexpected at this level here. That is going to be the points going up. Is it correct? 21 on the scoreboard. Trapper main hanging on this hook and not going to be attempting an escape, it seems. That's fine, but he doesn't need to, because in this instance, that will place Team Eternal at 20 points to Team Kanapek's 21. And an impossible comeback, one that I don't think anyone expected, may have just occurred here on the Rotten Fields. I, for one, was not expecting this to happen. Team Kanapek bringing their experience to this tournament has successfully mounted the comeback of dreams as we get to the scoring stage of this. We'll see exactly where it all was separated. The winner of game 1, match 1 of the round of 16 is Team Kanapek. And all that separated these two teams was a hook state, it seems, between Eternal and Kanapek. One hook was all that separated these teams. 21-20 is your final score for match 1. An impressive comeback for Team Kanapek. Wow. That is heartbreaking for Eternal. The underdog team put together for this tournament came so close to securing victory on their Survivor round. The Kanapek Survivor team were able to avoid Shix's spirit despite being found during the corrupt intervention stage for just enough to separate themselves by a point in this first match. That is incredible here. That means Team Kanapek will progress to day 2 of the Best of the Best tournament happening next Friday on the 11th of September. And unfortunately, this is where we say goodbye to Eternal. Let's see that on our standing screen and see what's coming up next for the Best of the Best tournament. Match 1 has completed, but the Best of the Best tournament continues. Team Kanapek was successful and have eliminated Eternal here. Bold scenes from Team Kanapek, the Sandwich Thieves stealing away that victory in the final minute of the game. Next, we'll be moving on to match 2 here.